Hello students, welcome to your computer classroom. So in the previous class we were discussing about the different input methods in HTML, in HTML forms. So we have seen the text area, then the check boxes, then radio buttons we were discussing about. So let us see it once again and then we will move to the next topic. So we have seen before radio buttons we have seen about the text area. So in the text area or the check boxes, whatever the input method which we are choosing, related to that, the let us come above. So here this was the example of check boxes. So the input type which we are choosing, we have to write the input type tag with the value whatever it is. If it is checkbox, we will write mention checkbox, or if it is text area, we can mention the text area. Then in the check boxes we have seen that whatever the set, the different values which we are, if it is a part of a single set, so then we are writing a common, you can say a common name of all of these. So this will denote that these all check boxes are part of a single set or a group. Clear? And whatever the value which you want to give the name of that checkbox, the name can be given, and the text which we want to get appeared of the after the checkbox, so these we have written after closing tag. Clear? Then we have seen about the radio buttons. So if we come to the next, we have seen about the radio buttons. So here the radio buttons also, these have the three important things which are like the word which specifies the set of these radio buttons, that is the name. Then in the radio buttons we have the option to select only one of the several options. Clear? So a single options can be selected, while in the checkbox we can select more than one options. So this is the basic difference between checkbox and radio buttons. Then here also you can see that whatever the input type we want, here we have, in all of these we have chosen radio. Okay, and the name which we are writing for specifying the set or group of these radio button should be same if it is the part of or the options of a single question. So here as we are talking about, it is a given question. While making a form, if you want a feedback from the users that they can rate the website, so for this we have written a statement that how do you rate the website. Then in the name we have means made these all options the answer of a single question. Then the whatever the values you want to give, so this has been given. So if you see the HTML code, here it is. So you can see that whatever the input type, here the input type is radio. The previous all the above input type, it is remain at as it is, the text boxes and the comment box which we want for the feedback, that is text area. The radio buttons which we are talking right now, so here we have written the input type as radio. Then in the name you can see it is all of these are part of a single group, so we have written a common name. We can give any name, so here it is the answer of to give the rating, so that's why we have written a similar name. Then the values which you want to give to these radio buttons, we can give a name, and these are after closing bracket, these are the text which is going to appear on the web page. Now let us see the output of this. So if I see and come to the browser, so here is the output of our page, the HTML code which we have written. Clear? So whatever the value you want to give to these text boxes, this can be given as earlier. Then here is the radio button. So here you can check that if I select one of these, okay, so one at a time can be selected. If you will click on any of the other, the previous one will be deselected and the new can be selected. Clear? So this is why we are saying that if we want all of these to be present as option of a single set, so that is why we need to give a common name. Okay, so if you have given you can say more than one name for these radio buttons, then we could be impossible to select more than one option, so it will treat these options as the answer of different options. Clear? So that is why it is recommended that whenever you are writing the HTML code in the radio buttons, ensure that the radio buttons have a common set or a common group. Okay, now coming to the next, that is the next. Here it is given the same, that whenever we are giving the radio buttons, we should uh, give the different names if the options, if you want to select more than one options. Clear? Then next is creating a menu. So here in the menu we will see that we can give the values and in that we can give the options to choose. So let us see first. You can create a menu that offers visitor a list of options to choose from. Normally menus are used for displaying list of products, states, age groups, etc. Clear? So why we use these menus? When we want when you want to give the options to choose from a set of different values, so this can be done by using a menu. Clear? And the different options which we want to give in these menus, we will see how we can specify the values in these menus. So while creating a menu, you need to specify some information. So let us see what are the different informations which is required. So first is, you need to specify a word that describes the menu. Clear? So for any of the menu option, we need a word. For example, here we have a form which we are creating. So if we are giving the values for like city or state, so this will be the text which will appear, and in the menus we can give the different name of the cities. Clear? So here the name of this menu is city. Clear? Then this is done using the name attribute. Here it is talking about the same. So whatever the menu which we are making, so if we want to give or specify a name for that menu, this will be given by the name attribute. Clear? You need to specify a word that describes the content, so this is done using the value attribute. Clear? So whatever the options which you want, whatever the, you can say, for a single menu, the different values which we want to give, this can be given using the value attribute. So here you can see in the city, this was the name of our menu and these are the values. Clear? Then the third is, you need to specify the text you want to appear for each menu option on your web page. So these are the value names and this is the text like Amritsar, Karnal, Noida, which is given after closing this. So this text is going to appear on the web page. So here in this example, as it is both the same, the name of the value as well as the text which we want to get appear on the web page, so that is why we can relate with that these are the two different things. One is the name of the value and another is the text which we want to get appear on the web page. Okay, so this is the basic layout of the menu option, and here we have a size option. We will see that what is the meaning of this size. The same code is explained here. So the earlier elements like the text boxes we have kept the same, then the different radio buttons or whatever the other previous code which we have written, we can modify in the same. Okay, now let us see the code of this. So if I come to, let us close this. So if I come to the menu option, here we have the code which is I have written. Let us open with the notepad. So here is the code which we have written. So here whatever the city which you want, so here the name is city, and whatever the values which you want, this is given with the value attribute. Clear? So the name of the menu is given with the name attribute, and the values are given with the option values attribute. And here we have the size attribute. So whatever the number of values which we want to get appear on the page, so this can be given by writing the size. Let me show you. First see the program. So these were all the previous attributes which we have written, like the input type which was text, then the radio buttons which we have just created, then the text area if someone wants to give suggestion for the web page. Clear? Now let us see that how this program is going to appear on the web page. Okay, so if I come to this program, so here you can see that this is the program which we have written, and whatever the elements which we have written, they are appearing same. Now if you go to this city option, here you can see these are the different values which we have given for the menu. Okay, so in the options which we have given the name of the different cities, they are appearing here. So whatever the value which you want, we can choose from here. So the important thing which we are talking right now, let me open the program code as well along with this. So here you can see the size which we have specified, it is 5. Okay, so when we click on this drop down button, you can see the 5 values which we have written, all of the 5 are appearing. So if I change to 3, let us change the size to 3 and see what will be the effect. So if I am pressing 3, giving the size as 3, now save this program so that it can appear, and refresh the web page which we have designed. Clear? So you can see when I click on the city button, now at a time there are 3 names which are visible, and we have a scroll button which can be moved. So whatever the number of size which we are specifying, the same values are appearing here. Clear? So if we want that only a single value will appear there and the rest of them can be selected. So if I click on size as 1, now save this and see what will be the effect of this. Now come to the page once again. So here you can see only one value is appearing at a time. Okay, and when I click on this, the menu will open, and from here we can select the multiple options. Otherwise, if the values were 5, 3 or 2, at a single time only those value will be appearing from in these options. Okay, so this is the use of the value option. And the previous one, whatever the radio buttons which we wanted, this are kept the same, and the different elements like text area for writing the suggestions, it is already there. Now let us come to the book once again. So here we have written the same. Then while writing these options, if you want to choose any value to be selected by default, so here you can see in the option value, after writing the value, the value of this attribute, that is New Delhi, whatever the city name is, if you want to get it selected by default when it is open, so for writing that we can use the selected attribute. Clear? So that when we open the web page, by default that value will be appeared selected. So in our code also we have selected this Varanasi value as we have kept it selected. So that is why when we open the web page, by default the Varanasi was selected. Okay, let me open the page once again. So here you can see we have written the Varanasi as selected. Clear? So all of the other options which were earlier there, only the values are there. With this value we have used the attribute selected. Now let us open the program once again. So here is our menu program. So here you can see when the page opens, by default this value Varanasi which is appearing here. Clear? So in the menu, this value which we have written as selected, this will appear by default. In the same way, in the radio button also you can see that the superb is already selected. So if you see the code, there also you can see with the radio buttons as well, you can see with the superb we have written checked. I hope this is visible. Here it is. With the superb we have written checked. So this will make this radio button selected. In the same way, whatever the menu which we have made, so the value which we want to get default selected, so for that we can use the attribute selected. Okay, now come again to the book. Next is, after this you can see the same, it is talking about the size attribute. So let us read this once. So type the number of menu entries as the size attribute value. So we have seen above that the whatever the size which we have chosen, the same number of values were appearing on the web page. Okay, so this makes the menu appear as a rectangular box that displays all the items in the list. If the menu list is long, it may take up more room, that is space, on the form that you want, making users scroll to view the selection. Clear? So as in our example, there were only 4 or 5 values were there. It may be that if you are choosing the name of the state, so then it will have multiple options. Then if there is any month, if you are choosing the date of birth, so there also we find sometimes the year which is written with these menus, so then it will have multiple options. So that is why it is practice to write this values as the minimum, so that the scroll bar is available using the users can use the scroll bar to scroll from the various values. So if you prefer to save room on your form, keep the menu size at 1. So this creates a drop down menu list. Clear? So if there is only one menu size, so it will open you the drop down list, and from there we can scroll and select the values. Next is a submit button. So as we have made these the different input methods, the different attributes by using which the user can give the values. Now if the user want to submit this form, so whenever we visit any of the website also, we see that the different registration forms which we come across on various websites, they have some submit and reset button. So now let us see how this submit button will work. So you can create a submit button that visitors can click to send the information they entered in your form to your web server or your email. Clear? So as in the program which we have written, we have used the mail to. Clear? So in the action, let me show you. So here the program which we have written, you can see the action is mail to and whatever the mail address we have written. So when we will add the submit button in any of these programs, so the same action will be taken. Clear? So if it is written as mail to, so it will be sent to mail, or if you want, if you have attached the program with any database, so if you want that the information should be uploaded in the database, so for that you will have to write the code related to that in the action. Clear? So using the submit button, whatever the action which you want to perform, this will be performed. So let us see this example. So for writing the submit button, what we have done, after writing all of the elements of the program, when we have to use this submit button, write here as the input type as submit, and whatever the value which you want to get appear on that submit button, this can be written. Clear? For example, submit, or if you want to write like save. Clear? So these type of text can be written on the submit button. So the action will be for submitting or for doing whatever the action which we have written, but the text which we want to get appear on that button, this can be changed from the value attribute. Clear? So here it is talking about the same, that how this submit button program or whatever the HTML element is required to be written in the HTML code. This is here. So input type is submit, and the value which we want we can write. So here that thing, submit button will appear. Now let us see that how the HTML code of this appears and how it will appear in the web page. So if we come to the submit program, here we have written. So if I open first with the notepad, let us see how the program has been written. So here each of the element, the previous elements, they are the same. Only at the end, after all of these values, we have written the input type as submit, and the values we have written submit. Clear? So action, it is whatever the action which we have specified, it is the same here, like mail to. So this information can be mailed, sent to the mail to any of the particular email address which we have written. Now let us see that how this submit button is going to appear on our web page. So if I open our program, so here you can see that this was the earlier code which is already there, and when we fill up all the different values here, we have the submit button at the bottom. Clear? Now let us see if I change the value. In the value, if it is submit, if I want to write save, so let us see how it is going to appear if I write as save. Clear? So now write the value as save. After this, save this HTML code and refresh the page once, and let us see. So here you can see that submit has given a new name, that is save. Clear? So it is a submit button, but whatever the value which you want to give, this can be written, this can be given from the value attribute. Clear? So this way we have seen that the value can be changed using the value attribute. So make it again as the submit. Okay, so we have changed it again, and when we refresh it again, the submit button, the text which is appearing, it is submit. Okay, so when we complete this, when we can click on the submit button. So if it is a mail, if it is required to send a mail, so we can write, we can click from the mail, whatever the mail service you are using. So it will ask the login, and it will send the information to the mail of whatever the action which we have written. So it will send that information as a mail to that particular email address. Okay, so this was the about the submit button. Now let us see what is next. So next is, if we come to the book, it is about the reset button. Okay, so what is the use of this reset button? Let us see. So reset button, you can create a reset button that visitors can click to clear the information that entered in your form. Okay, so reset button is basically used that after if there is whatever the values the user has entered, if you want to change those values and remove all of the entries which has been made by the user, so reset button will delete all of the values which are present. Okay, so for using the reset, here you can see just after the submit button we have written, so we can write it anywhere after the completion of all the elements in the web page. So most of the web pages when we visit, we have the submit and reset button there also. So here only we are writing the input type as reset, and whatever the value we want to give, so this can be reset. So whatever the text here we want to get appear, this can be given in the value attribute. Okay, now let us see the code of this once, and then we will see the output of the same. So here is the reset program. Now let us open with the notepad. So if we see here, all of the previous elements are the same, the different input type, the text box, then the radio button, all of we have kept the same. Here you can see at below we have written the input type as reset and the value which we want, this is written in the value attribute. Okay, and all of the values which we have written anywhere, they have written in the double quotes. This we already know. Okay, so after writing this, we will see that the both button, now submit and reset, we have kept both, so the both buttons will appear in our program. Now let us see. So if I open the reset button program also, here you can see along with all of the information, all of the elements which we have written, the submit and reset button both are appearing at the bottom. Now let us see how this reset button will work. So suppose we are filling this form. So I have written Abhay, then address, suppose someone is from BHU Varanasi or whatever the address you want to write. Then in the city and state, whatever the city we want to choose, we can choose. Now value, the pin code. So let us write the pin code. What is the mobile number? So you can give any of the mobile number. Okay, so it will only accept 10 digits, as the size of this we have specified as 10. In the same way, in the pin code also we have given the maximum as 6. Let me show you. So here you can see the same which we are talking about, that in the pin code you can see the maximum length is 6. Clear? And in the same way, in the mobile number, the maximum length is 10. So by specifying these maximum length, it will only accept that particular digits. Clear? After this, when we come to the program once again, so whatever the rating which you want to give to the website, this can be chosen. If you want to give any suggestions, so suppose we want to write that the website is okay, or whatever the feedback you want to give, you can write that. Okay, so after writing these, let us see now. Already we have seen the use of the submit button, that if you click on the submit button, it will ask you, it will open the mail service which you use. So using that we can log in and send the mail to the person which we have the mail address which we have written in the mail to attribute. Then let us see the use of reset. So if I click on this reset, clear, you can see all of the informations which we have entered, this will be erased. Clear? So this is the use of submit and reset button. Okay, so this way we have seen all the various attributes, the different elements, the input method in HTML form. Then coming to the book once again, here we have seen that the reset button will reset all the values which we have filled in the form. Okay, now next is adding frames. So basically frames, we will see that before this the form which we have written, that was a single web page on a whole browser. Clear? So if we want to use the frame, we will see that frames will give you multiple web pages which can be included on a single or you can say multiple sections can be allocated in a single web page. Clear? So let us read this few of the things. The more about this, the code and the various you can say example of this, we will see in the coming class. So let us see first that what basically is the frame. So a frame is a rectangular area of a web page, essentially a window in which separate web pages can be displayed. Clear? So frame, you can see that we can create the sections in the web page. So if you want that there are two sections of the web page, in the upper part if there is some other information, some other web page, in the lower part some other web page is being displayed. Clear? So this way we can add the frames. So not only two, we can create the sections in subsections also. Clear? So if you want, we can on the left part, if we want two and on the right side if you want the third. So this way the frames can be added. Clear? So frames allow a user to display several web pages at one time in a single browser window. Clear? So as we were talking about, that using this frame we can create sections in this whole area, and this way we can uh, make to view various web pages on a single browser window. Each frame display a different individual web page, each of which is capable of interacting with other web pages. Clear? So while we are making these web pages, so each of these web page will be different, and it may also appear that in the first page suppose there is some link with the third or with the another page, so this interlinking can be done. We already know that the hyperlinks which we use in the HTML pages, they are used for linking with another pages. So this way all of these web pages will be you can say different from each other, and at the same time they are capable for interacting with each other. Then we can use frames to divide your web page into sections and allows user to access different pages in your website from one screen. Clear? So this is what we were talking about, that using the frames the users will get multiple sections of on the browser screen, and at the same time the person can access different sections on a single page. So this gives you or this gives the additional benefits for the user, which is more interactive, or you can say various sections can be accessed at the same time on a single screen. Now in the coming class we will see about more about the frames, some examples of this, and then we will see what are the advantages and disadvantages, and few frame set the tags which are used for this we will discuss in the coming class. Till then, revise all the topics which we have covered today, and let us meet in the next class with the further topics. Thank you.